What is up, my Dunerinos? So I have been gone for like 2 weeks because I've been sick. So it sucks ass, but I'm back now. So we're gonna do a really fun video today. Very little science and bullshit in this video, and a lot of just fun crap. This is about the players of the game, the people playing the dating game and really playing the game of life. This is part one of hopefully maybe I'll do it part two. Let's start. Let's go. So here we have before we get to like the actual like Chad and incel shit. We need to cover like some basic shit. So here we have our normie guy. This is our normie friend here. So our the normie guy, the average man you see on the street. Now this guy, he's just a normal person, one with commonly held beliefs, taste, or interest. Now this guy is often blue pilled. He's so fucking blue pilled that it's almost impossible to wake him up. He was like blue pilled at birth. He was given blue pills all his entire fucking life. And truth be told, this guy would probably not even really benefit from being red pilled or black pilled. He's probably happy enough in his ignorance that the blue pill is a good life for him. But yeah, he also could be purple pilled. It's very rare that a normie will actually be red pilled. He could be purple pilled. The purple pill is like between the obviously between the red and the blue, and it's like having like one eye open. It's like, oh, I see half the truth, but I don't want to like believe it, so I'm gonna find every excuse in the book to ignore the red pill truth that's being displayed at me. So I'm gonna try to find articles from various feminist websites and say, oh well, that's not really true. You see, on surveys, women actually say this, but in reality, what they actually do is something different. Like these guys here will do anything to like try to get back to the blue pill, but kind of once you take a few red pills, you can't really go back. So these guys almost have to stay in like the purple pilled state. These guys could be considered NPCs. If you don't know what an NPC is, it's like a game thing. In video games, it's a non-playable character. These guys run off a very basic script. These are the guys that like have the basic script of like go to high school, find a wife, fuck wife, make kids, work a dead end job for 50 years, die, and then rinse and repeat. Like these aren't bad people; they're just boring. These guys don't really have what you would call the spark, and because of that, you could almost consider these guys to be like mass produced. Like when you complain about the average American, well, like what you're really complaining about is the American system and what the American system produces. So these men and women really are effectively just mass produced things. Okay, like our media, like everything feeds into these guys. So we feed these guys a shitty education from K through 12. We feed them really crappy food that makes them fat, or whatever you want to call it. We feed them brain dead ass celebrities and brain dead ass movies that don't produce any real thought provoking ideas. This is what when we talk about the masses, this is what we're talking about. They're mass produced. Like these people are like, this is like your run of the mill grunt. Now, what does grunt stand for? Like grunt really means general replacement unit. So effectively, it's almost like something that's so useless that like I could insert somebody else in that same position and nothing would be lost. Like if I was to make like if I was to take a look at a system like a system of like of sprockets and cogs and shit, the big cog is really important, but the small cog out in the corner isn't really that important. Like I could take that cog out and replace it with another cog, and it wouldn't fucking matter. Whereas like the big cog, which was especially made, you need that cog to be there, and it's really hard for me to find another one of those. That's what grunt means. And like once again, this isn't a bad thing. It could be a bad thing if you don't like being a grunt. I don't know. We'll figure it out, dude. But at the end of the day, like we're all produced, but some people are mass produced, and some people are just like they're specially made to do a certain task. And these people could be considered a useful idiot. Like the purple pill guys are probably useful idiots to a feminism in some way because like they know enough of the red pill that they could take it back to feminists, provide them with the arguments to beat the red pill, or not beat it, but really just argue against it and keep people blue pilled. Like they're useful idiots for that task. Like they can be useful idiots in politics too. You know, I don't have like an example off the top of my head, but like we've all heard of like you see people at these big huge fucking rallies for Clinton or fucking Trump or Obama, and they just repeat what a leader says, and they have no clue what the leader's actually saying. Like if you were to actually ask them to like, well, what does that really mean? They couldn't really give you a good enough answer to satisfy you. It would always be like, well, it means X, Y, and Z. Kind of like these are the idiots that would use the phrase like diversity is our strength without really understanding what that really means. Okay, and then keep in mind that like a normie, I believe like I used a lot of the stuff in this video. The video is going to be from incel.wiki. So like normie for them is like about SMV, but I'm kind of like trying to remove the sexual value from the word normie right now. I'm just saying that a normie could be your SMV could be anywhere on the scale. So theoretically, a one could be a normie, like and a 10 could be a normie. If anything, a 10 is more likely to be a normie than a one is, though. And I'll explain that later on. And then in general, these guys they mean well or it means well when giving advice, but it's painfully unaware of how they are successful. So like, if you were to ask this person, "Hey, how did you get to where you are?" Well, they would say with hard work. But then if you brought up things like, well, like they would use a blanket statement like hard work, but the moment you start digging into their life, you realize that, oh, well, okay, well, their dad was a millionaire, and he had that advantage, and he had this advantage and that advantage. Like these guys are almost so painfully unaware that they almost like behave with very very basic circular reasoning. Well, how are you successful? Because I worked hard. Okay, well, how do you work hard? Because I'm successful. Okay, well, this is a retard tier logic. Like you're effectively saying that you're just a hardworking person, and that's true. You could be a hardworking person, but why are you a hardworking person? They can never really tell you why they are what they are. Chad could be. I think I already kind of went over this earlier, but I'll read this thing off my script here. So Chad could be, and is oftentimes is a normie. Okay, an incel is actually less likely to be a normie because he has been forced to understand the truth. It's a coin flip for those in the middle. So like, like the three or the four and the two are more likely to be blackpilled or to know the truth about, especially dating here, than Chad is. Because he has no reason to know the truth. Why the fuck would he care about the truth about dating? He has no need for it. Sorry. With the guys in the middle, it's a little bit different because these guys, it's like a coin flip. Okay, like if you're a five or a six, it could go either way. Like you could have a really shitty life or a decent life where you end up in a blue pill state, or a really not so good life where you end up in a red pill state, or you could end up absolutely fucking shit tier and end up in a black pill state. Okay, so now we have a real game player. Now this is kind of like my definition here. This is from at least as far as I'm concerned. I don't know where. I couldn't really find a good definition online that I think agreed with. So fuck it. I'm make my own up, right? Keep in mind this is completely arbitrary. This is kind of fun. This is the one thing. This is a fun video, so don't take shit too seriously. But a real game player for me would be it's a person with actual soul in their eyes. Like if you ever look at some people, you realize how like dead inside they are. Like if you look at some people's eyes, like look them right in the eye, or look at a picture of somebody and see like, is there anybody in there, or is it just like a fucking like machine running in there? You can't really tell sometimes with some people. So so we have black pill. The real game players right now are really going to be the black pill and the red pill players. So, but they're different in a lot of ways too. So the black pillar, he understands the metagame. I'm going to go over a metagame pretty soon down here, but let's just get through this thing here. Understands the metagame and can manipulate the game. Now there's a caveat here though. He can only manipulate the game if he can actually play the game, especially when it comes to dating. He effectively sees the game code. So okay, let me get to a red pill first. So, in the red pill person, he actually plays the game, but he probably doesn't understand the metagame as well as the black pill person does, and he can't manipulate it to the same degree. But he plays the game and he sees the quote unquote game code. So, like just to make a Matrix analogy here, and when Neo gets woken up, he can see the a green code of the world of the Matrix world. and then in the third movie where he goes blind, he sees this golden game code now. So but he's in the but apparently he's in the real world, quote unquote. What that's really showing you is that that's the real game code. The gold is the real game code, and the green code is the quote unquote game code, the fake game code. Okay, so let's go over metagame real quick here. So metagame or game about is or game about game. So it's effectively game about game. Is an approach to a game that transcends or operates outside of the prescribed rules of the game, uses external factors to affect the game, or goes beyond the supposed limits or environment set by the game. So, another game-related use of the term metagaming refers to operation on knowledge of the current strategic trends within a game. So, like, if you're playing in a FPS, and let's say you're playing the game in its very, very base state. Well, certain guns have certain fire rates, and other guns have certain things that they can do. So, like, when you're watching an engagement happen between two players, what you're viewing there is like within the game itself, well, when you're playing the game, okay, well, I fire, he fires, I fire, he fires, I win. Okay, well, this is the basics of the game. Okay, well, I won. But why did you win? Well, you won because like one gun had a certain advantage over another gun in that particular situation. So, like, if you're in like a small hallway and one player has a SMG and another player has like a battle rifle, the SMG is probably going to win in that environment. Now, why does it win in that environment? Well, the gun is it's designed to be used in a small enclosed environment to spray and pray. You can put more rounds in the player in that smaller environment than whereas if you were in a different environment where like the gun is so that range, well the SMG would be useless, and the battle rifle would be you four shots a dude and he's dead. That's why you won the game. You didn't win because you were a better player. It's possible. You probably were the better player in that situation, but in a different situation you wouldn't have been a better player. Another example here is in fighting games, metagaming may occur at the character select screen. The opposing character has various strengths that can be avoided and weaknesses that can be exploited more easily depending on the character you choose, provided you are aware of those strengths and weaknesses, called a matchup. For a basic example, a character with projectile attack has the advantage over a grappler who must close in on the opponent to be effective. Matchup metagaming is very important in tournament settings. In recent fighting games, blind select has been implemented for online modes. So let's see. Metagame. Another a definition from Wikipedia here is that it refers to any aspect of strategy that involves thinking about what your opponent is thinking you are thinking. So think about how crazy that is. Like it's like in chess, where like you're not thinking about your move. You're thinking about his move 10 moves later. So metagame comes into play in any game where no single strategy is dominant, and opposing sides are aware of multiple strategies that one can concede dependent upon opponent's actions. In order to perform at the highest level, it then becomes necessary to think about what your opponent thinks you will do, and which may depend on what he thinks you think he will do. Right? Like, think about how crazy that is. Like, oh, I love that type of shit. Holy shit. And to make decisions based on clues regarding what level they are thinking on. Like, oh, fucking Christ, I love this definition. Holy shit. Oh, man, I love metagame. I love metadata. I love it, all that shit. Holy shit. All right, let's keep going. I'm trying to keep this video kind of short. Let's keep going. So, our first FMV chat thing here, whatever you want to call it, fuck it. Our first dating thing is going to be Chad. We all know who the fuck Chad is, right? Chad is someone who can elicit near universal positive female attention at will. A Chad usually has some combination of really aesthetic appearance, a lot of money, or a lot of general social status. So he has high LMS, which leads to high SMV. He can either be red pilled or blue pilled. Blue pilled Chad is the ideal for women. Because what women effectively want is an alpha who is controllable. So they basically want a fuckboy. They want a dude who's super alpha in the street, but when he gets home, oh, she's my princess, yada yada yada. Like you can see this in all the those dumbass dating novels or sex novels they sell at Walmart. Like, okay, like pick one of those suckers up and read it, and one thing you're gonna notice is that the asshole pirate guy, super sexy asshole pirate, he kills and slaughters all these people out there. But when he comes home to his wife, man, he's super chill and suave and treats her like a princess. This is what women actually want, boys. So he could be blackpilled, but blackpilling requires hardship and wisdom that Chad will rarely be forced to ever get. Like in order to have hardship, your life actually needs to be fucking hard. Chad's life is not hard. Chad just lives his life and he dies. Fucks a bunch of women and dies. Like Chad does not have a hard life. It's just true. So he almost can't be blackpilled. He can understand some blackpilled concepts, but understanding a concept and actually being blackpilled are two different things. Now, and then wisdom. I mean, Chad doesn't really need, he doesn't need wisdom either. He doesn't need anything because he has enough S&V that, or it really looks LMS that he's able to just to kind of walk through life and like as like a fucking ghost and just make it. And then we have, of course, we have Tyrone, Chang, and Chad Dula. These are the variants of Chad here, but so Chad is the white version of Chad, obviously. And then we have Chang. He's the Asian variant, also known as Chang Long Wang. We have Chad Dula, who's the Arab version of Chad, and of course Tyrone is the black version of Chad. So these are all the versions of Chad in various cultures around the world. Now, he's very, very likely to be an NPC, but he could be a red pilled player too. Like Chad, he can be once again, he can be red pilled, so you can have a red pilled Chads, but he's less likely to be black pilled. He's very, very less likely to actually know metagame. He might understand certain aspects of metagame, but he's very, very likely to be unable to. He's very, very unlikely to be able to manipulate metagame. Let's keep going. So we have Chad Light and Brad. So below Chad, there's Chad Light and Brad. So Chad Light or low tier Chad is an 8 on the scale. Chad Lights are often the bare minimum Becky will accept as a partner these days. I'll probably get into Becky's and Stacy's and shit in the next video. I'll make a separate video on the women shit, but either way. And he could be a normie. So Chad Light could just be a normie. He's probably more likely than not to be red pill because he's low enough on the scale that he's starting to see some truths about. He's looking at these 9 dudes who are like, "Damn, you're perfect. What the fuck? I can't pull as much ass as you do." He might start noticing that shit and realize that, oh crap, okay, maybe this is not as easy. Being an 8 is a lot harder than being a 9. Okay, fuck it. But he's still in a pretty good position though. And of course, there's a bottom shelf Brad here. He's a moderately attractive male. He's a 6 out of 10. He's very, very likely to just be a normie ass fucking blue pill, maybe purple pill dude. Yeah, he has no reason. He's not that bad off. Then of course I didn't even know the guy existed. That's why he's not at the top, but I added him. Tanner, man, fucking Tanner. We all know fucking Tanner, right? It's a basic ass dude. Literally the most basic bitch ass motherfucker on the face of the planet. He's so fucking normie it hurts you. Like he's so normie he might even drag your ass back down to the fucking abyss with his ass. Okay, like he is your run of the mill 5 out of 10. He might be a fucking male feminist or some shit. He's also very, very likely to be like your high school bully type guy. Like he's kind of a fucking idiot. Like Chad, as much as we bitch about Chad, he's not really a bad person because Chad doesn't have to be a bad person. He's just Chad. Chad is eternal. It's like Chad's like, he's like, I know I'm above you. Like you don't suppress what you don't fear. Yeah, like you suppress what you fear. If Chad doesn't fear you, he's not gonna give a fuck about you. He's not gonna fucking make you look bad because he doesn't care about you. Like he knows damn well that he's above you. He's pulling more ass than you are. He doesn't care. And then there's the fabled Giga Chad. So a Chad who's so Chad that he makes other Chads look bad. So he's just a better Chad. So there's always somebody chattier. Like when I was in that I was in a live stream like probably like 2 months ago now or a month ago now with Black Ram and a few other people. Yeah, and I brought this kind of phrase up here, but like there's always someone chattier. Like, and this is just true. There's always gonna be somebody out there with more money than you, or they're gonna have something that you don't have. And like it's just true. Like okay, like this Chad has a 6 pack abs. Well, this Chad over here has a better beard, and he has that. Okay, well like it's almost like this idea of like you can't have it all. It's almost impossible to have it all. You can have enough, and you can have a lot more than most people have. You can't have it all. Very very unlikely that somebody out there has all these attributes in perfect synergy, and someone out there can't like mog them. Because mogging is like like you have a effectively like okay like I'm obviously a better looking than you, so like I'm mogging your ass, dude. Like I'll walk up next to you, and I'm 6'1", you're 5 foot fucking 10. I'm mogging you, dude. Like there's always someone out there that can be chattier than the Chad that you fucking know in your neighborhood. And then there's a fucking Terra Chad. This right here is a Terra Chad. Um, he's literally Chad incarnate. He has the 25 million pack abs, 85 inch cock that can be grown at will. Smokes weed, doesn't get high. This dude's he's a fucking beast. And he cannot be killed except by a wizard with level 99 magic and maxed out enchantments. He's literally unkillable. You have to use a wizard to kill Chad. Or sorry, a Terra Chad. And this dude right here, he's actually blue pilled. He has no reason to ever take the red. Why the fuck would he? He doesn't want to fucking know the truth, dude, because he knows he's fucking Terra Chad. Oh man, now we get to the fucking bottom of the fucking barrel here, dude. Oh my fucking god. We have the incel. Oh my fucking god. Musashi is an evil person. Oh my god. Okay, so we have the incel as an academic, or an incel is an academic sociological term that is short for involuntary celibacy, a life circumstance. So this dude is basically saying he's not getting sex but wants it but can't get it. You know, he just can't get shit. Most likely to be blackpilled and thus knows metagame but can't play the game. This is what I'm talking about earlier. So like he knows the metagame, he knows all this science and shit like that. He knows all about women. He knows all about the societal shit. He knows all about that shit. He probably hasn't attempted like suicide yet, but either way, but he hasn't taken the real black pill yet. But either way, he hasn't accepted like full on existential nihilism yet. But he knows enough that like, okay, I know the metagame, but I can't actually play the game, and that's gotta be really frustrating to like. I know all this shit about women, I know all this shit about men, I know all this shit about people, and I cannot play the fucking game. What kind of bullshit is that? Because you're almost taken out of the game at birth because you're so fucking ugly. It's low LMS, which leads to low SMV. This is basically what I said earlier. You're so ugly that your looks are so low that you can't even your SMV so low that you can't play the actual game, even though you know what's wrong with the game. It's almost like if you wanted to play a fighting game and you had no arms. Like you're like, I know everything about fighting games, but I can't actually play them. And it sucks ass. Now, he can be blue pilled or red pilled too. You know, very, very likely that a lot of like incels are actually red pilled, not black pilled yet. So a blue pilled incel would be more like a beta cuck orbiter. Those guys on Twitch that donate their entire life savings to a Twitch thought. Those dudes are fucking pathetic. Okay, like these are like your male feminist guys who go out with the pussy hats on. These are your your beta cuck orbiters, your male orbiters. These are just really really low tier men. These are effectively like your a liberal or leftist type dudes over here. Your red pilled incels are dudes with a little bit more pride than that. These dudes have a lot of pride about, okay, like I know I'm low SMV, but I'm not gonna simp that fucking hard, dude. I'm not simping at that fucking level. Fuck you. Okay, if women don't want me, I'm not gonna fucking give my fucking money for free. Kiss my ass. Okay, red pill incels are bros. Blue pill incels are the dudes that are on incel tiers who it's like it's like society needs like a lower caste of people. So like the blue pilled guys need like the red pilled guys to be like, hey, well, even though I'm an incel, at least I'm not it's like their mantra's like I may be an incel, but at least I'm not an incel. It's like okay, like no, like the blue pilled guys are like in like self denial of how like women operate, and they're in such bad self denial or in such low self denial that like they don't even like realize that the red pill guys are actually right. Like these guys over here, they're all incels, but like the blue pill ones are way more pathetic. These are probably the guys that like a lot of the manosphere guys like hate these blue pilled guys, but they don't really talk the red pill guys that much either because the red pill guys are often kind of seen as being more violent, but they really aren't. So these guys are more likely to be MGTOW than MGTOW. So like there was a few. So MGTOW stands for men sense their own way, and MGTOW stands for men going their own way. So like Chad is more likely to be MGTOW than MGTOW. Like there is a debate to be had if an incel can ever actually be MGTOW. Because like let's say you're an incel and you watch a video about women. Like let's say you're objectively like a 1 out or 2 out of 10 guy. You watch a video about women, and you realize, okay, well, women are just garbage, so I'm gonna go my own way. Like, well, it's very, very likely that you would have been sent your own way anyway. So like you kind of like voluntarily went your own way. So I guess you would technically classify as MGTOW, but like you would have been sent there anyway. So it's kind of like one of those weird games you can kind of play with like with wordplay here. These dudes here have the best fucking memes. Hands fucking down. Like, I wish Brain Cells was still fucking alive, dude. They had the best fucking memes. I laugh my ass off every fucking night in that fucking place, dude. Oh my fucking god. Then there's Forever Alone types, which I'll get to in the next slide, and there's Wizards. The Wizards are the best incels ever. So now we have the types of incels. So we have Fat Cell. So it's a person who is an incel because they are obese or overweight. So there's this phrase here that fat cell is volcel. But a fat cell is only a volcel if the fat cell has a desirable face underneath the fat. Otherwise, he's just a fat incel. So fat cell is volcel. Once again, like this phrase is true, but it's only true if the incel under the fat is actually attractive and his fat with just hiding his square jaw. There's our Auschwitz cell. So he's extremely skinny incel. This dude here's fucked. I'm sorry. Um, you have fake cell. We have an incel who's had sex in the past but hasn't pulled ass in years. This term here, this is one I'm gonna focus on a lot. So we have the failed normie. These here are effectively failed normies. These are men who used to be blue pilled, and then like they somehow on some part of their life they fell off the fucking wagon and never ever got back on the horse. I don't know what the fuck happened. Yeah, it could be any sort of life circumstance that leads them to the red pill truth. But these dudes here started off as normies and probably pulled some ass, but like they just couldn't do it anymore. Excuse me, goddamn, this cold's killing me. It could be a decent looking dude who got black pill too early, and then forever alone types could be a fake cell, and also it also could be an incel who won't fuck his looks match. So like especially in brain cells, a lot of those like 2 out of 10, 3 out of 10 dudes were absolutely willing to fuck someone who was like a 2 or 3 out of 10. Like these people don't want to fuck Stacy, who's like a 10 out of 10 or 9 out of 10. They aren't looking that high up. Some of them might be unreasonable in that, but you shouldn't blanket say that every single incel is looking to fuck Stacy and they want to fuck Kim Kardashian. Okay, these men are painfully aware because they know metagame. They're painfully aware of where they sit on the hierarchy. Okay, so like behaving as if they don't and acting as if you know better makes you a fucking asshole. Okay, go fuck yourself. So depending on how extreme the community is, a person who has ever had sex is no longer an incel. Technically speaking, everyone is an incel if they want sex and can't get it. But it seems to be more than just that. It seems to be a mindset that one is destined to never have sex, and depending on the person, this could be correct. Once again, like a 2 out of 10, very very likely is more likely to be. It's more probable that he is not going to have sex than like a 6 out or 7 out of 10 normie guy who's just like, okay, well, I had a few dry spells. Okay, like the 2 out of 10 guy, he's more of an incel than the 6 or 7 out of 10 guy is, obviously. A failed normie could be a decent looking person who stumbled on the black pill stuff and has basically been secondhand black pilled by reading forum posts. This is extremely likely to happen in the MGTOW community, which is far more approachable. So what I mean here is that like I think it was Thinking Ape made a video on this, or yeah, Thinking Ape made a video on this, or Stardust, and I like his videos a lot. But he made a video about basically saying that a lot of men, like normal people, even men who actually look halfway decent, have kind of been let into the manosphere maybe a little bit too early. Like they'll hear a story about like a being some dude being like divorce raped, and like it's almost like secondhand smoke. They're like secondhand red pill. Like, oh my god, like this could happen to me, and I'm not. I don't want to risk it, so I'm not actually going to do it. Now this might be the right move, but like we might have actually like maybe ruined this dude's life in some way of like giving him this information too early. Like it's one thing to have information and be able to like wield it appropriately, but like a lot of people don't have good critical thinking skills, so like you you need to be armed with the knowledge of like how to deal with women, but also know what the risks are. But a lot of people see risk and don't do anything. Like they'll say, "Well, I'm just gonna not do anything with women at all, and I'm done." Like, okay, but when this person could have easily probably gotten a girlfriend by now and been happy. Oh man. So there's some people that could be this is what this whole statement here is about. These dudes here are probably good enough to get a girlfriend, but they got black pilled or even MGTOW or red pilled too early on, so now they just refuse to do anything. So you could almost call these guys fake cells, and a lot of incels would consider these guys to be fake cells. And you could almost call these guys mental cells, but I'll get to mental cells later on. So we have the forever alone types here. So forever alone, a lot of these guys are probably blue pilled or purple pilled. Um, you know, these guys generally want relationships along with sex. So like these aren't like your pumper and dumper kind of guys. Like they're like decent looking men. They're definitely probably pretty good people too. They just want like a relationship with sex. Like okay, like I just want to have like the whole game happen to me. I just want like the relationship and the sex and like and the mindset is different from an incel in the fact that like or at least their situation is different from an incel where like they could like these are like the dudes who probably pulled ass back in the day but couldn't do it now for whatever reason. And then we have the mental cells. So the mental cells are is someone whose inceldom can be attributed to some psychological factor. So a mental cell would oftentimes be a man who has Chad-like features or who looks probably a 7, 8, 9, or 10 out of 10, but for some strange reason, like this dude has the looks, but he's so like psychologically scarred or damaged or like neurotic or anxious that he can't fucking seal the deal. Now, once again, in that stream I did with Black Ram, I brought up how game could maybe help some people, and that they believe it was MGTOW Dictionary said that no, it's impossible. But I guess maybe what I was trying to get at here was like some of these people here, like a mental cell who's not like fucking like schizophrenic or some shit, and even the forever alone types, could game help these men? And I'm not talking about these men going over there and buying a fucking PUA fucking boot camp shit. I'm just trying to say that like, is it possible that like these men here who have the looks but don't have like the mouthpiece or something like that to operate in the dating environment could game help these men? I'm not sure if it can. I don't know. I'm just posing a question here. Now to go back, I need to go back here for a second. I didn't read my little spiel here, so let me read this part here. So for incels, like this group gets conflated with like white supremacy and racism and sexism and homophobia, but there's actually a lot of like ethnic minorities in the incel movement. There are black cells, white cells, and curry cells. So black cells are obviously black men who are black incels effectively. Your Urkels, your educated lames. Although educated lames are kind of I'm gonna make a separate video probably about the black manosphere a little bit later on with their terms, but you have curry cells, which are Indians, and rice cells, which are Asians, and other types of incels. So a lot of incels actually call out things like white privilege. It's going to trigger a lot of people. Oh my God, this phrase, whatever. But with terms like the race pill, where white men score highest on desirability test, these men should be a test case for the left to use to call out privilege, but because they aren't friendly to women, they get no help. So the sad thing about the left is that a lot of their arguments actually work for incels. Like a lot of those arguments about privilege and unearned advantages and stuff like that. Yeah, those arguments work, and they're actually true. But the problem is that like the left almost like well if you don't agree with like the left is so purity testing that if you don't agree with like the this weird bullshit of like well you have to be friendly to women too. Okay, but like you can't on one hand say the incel's right because the incel's telling you a lot of truths about women that the leftists don't like. But on another hand, say the incels also, like you can't help the incel and also help women too. It's just what I'm trying to get at here. You literally can't do both. You can't have you can't have the perfect virtuous woman when in reality she's just another fucking dumb slut. And then also on the other hand, because at that point you're just admitting the insult's right, which means that you have to downplay women, which the left cannot do. The left is like incapable of ever like saying anything bad about women. So let's keep going. So white men often have the pick of the litter, but can oftentimes go to Southeast Asia and get women there, which fucks up the dating pool in Asia. So like rice cells are like literally like the most fucked group probably on this list because like their women are getting like poached, dog. It's getting real bad out there. Like if you go to California, man, like Asian women are just fucking vicious to fucking Asian dudes, dog. It's so messed up. It's so fucked. Like, white men are just stealing Asian women like fucking left and right. It's not fair. It really isn't fair, dude. Oh man, why I need to go forward. Fuck. Oh wait, and now we have the wizard, our god tier wizard. The wizard is a male who has reached the age of 30 without having sex. He wields the dark arts. He is so strong that even Chad must bow to his might. He's the Alpha and the Omega. He's the King of Kings. He's a god among men. He summons demons from the abyss. Unlimited mana source. Unfucking stoppable. Has taken the blackest of black pills and lived. Reality bends to his will. He writes the fucking metagame. He is the fucking game. He's above the game and in the game at the same time. Holy shit. Very few will tread this path, but those who do will find eternal glory in God's kingdom. Truly the wizard, the god among us all. Okay, so this has been Mystery School. Please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. This video was nowhere near exhaustive. I probably should have had more slides, but this video is already like 36 minutes long, so holy shit. So my sources were a lot of Wikipedia, info.wiki, I got a lot of shit from that, bullshit from my head, and I'll probably make some more fun videos for now, so I'm trying to get back into the groove real quick, and then make some more esoteric slash um sciencey videos and feedback loop system videos later on. But never forget, guys, that wisdom is gold, and I'm getting the fuck out of here. Have a good President's Day.